Warning: this episode contains content about sexual assault and suicide. If you need support, the National Sexual Assault Hotline is available 24/7 at 1-800-656-4673. You will be connected with a trained staff member in your area. If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. If we end up being killed after this episode, please prosecute the Clintons.
It's Tuesday, innit?
Hey everyone, it's Mimi and Weezus.
I wasn't ready, bro.
Okay. Hey everyone, it's Mimi and Weezus.
Hey guys, what's good?
Today we're gonna cover Kevin. Blah blah blah. I can't speak. Today we're gonna cover Kevin Spacey. I don't know why I just had a mini stroke. Sorry about that.
Since we covered the Danny, I can't feel the left side of my face.
Honestly, that's what happened, but my brain glitched too. So if I start talking weird or smelling burnt toast, then I'll be scared. But because we covered that Danny Masterson trial, we also thought this one was pretty interesting. Because, what the fuck? That's really all I can say about it. Is it makes no sense that
it's almost like on the opposite end of Danny Masterson, right? Because Danny Masterson's in jail, and this guy isn't in jail.
Yeah, and this guy's not in jail, and his he had a lot of people freaking coming after him. So I have a list of 15 people who were accusing him of sexual misconduct and rape or attempted rape or anything. It said it could be sexual harassment, assault, attempted rape. It's all of the above, dude. So the first one who actually came out and accused him was this guy named Anthony from Star Trek, right? And he comes out and says that Kevin Spacey made sexual advances towards him way back in 1986. But get this, dude. Anthony was only 14 years old. He was a 14-year-old boy, dude.
Ooh, okay, damn.
Mm-hmm. And then Spacey comes out.
How old was Spacey though?
I don't know. How old was he? He was born in 1959, I think, and that was in 1986. So however old that makes him, because I'm not good at math.
20-something. Let's go with that.
yeah. Well, he was in his 20s. Okay. So either way, though, he's making sexual advances towards this little 14-year-old boy, right? And so he comes out and says it. But keep in mind, this was just in 2017 that he actually comes out and says, yeah, he did this to me when I was a kid. Well, Kevin Spacey says in his statement after all this happened that he was just beyond horrified to hear what happened, and that if he did this, he doesn't remember it because it was 30 plus years ago, and that he, I think his people said oh, he's going to get help. He's going to go to therapy. He's going to figure out what's going on. But he was well, I do feel really bad. I didn't mean to affect his life forever if I did, is basically what he said, dude.
He's but anyways.
Yeah. But anyways, let's move on. That's basically what he did.
Who is that? Who's this guy? No, I just get
Anthony. So the guy who accused him was Anthony Rapp.
That's what Kevin Spacey was like. Who's this guy?
Oh, yeah. He's who is this? What kid? Or he's all, which one? So that's Anthony. I think it's pronounced Rapp. It's just R-A-P-P. So that's how it all starts, right? Is with this Anthony Rapp guy. Then in the statement that Kevin Spacey released that I just spoke about, he also has to come out as gay for the first time ever. So, right? Because they're he made advances towards a boy. What?
We need collateral control. You need to tell everyone you're gay.
Yeah, you need to take the freaking spotlight away from you being a rapist and a pedophile and tell them you're gay, because then they'll be so focused on you being gay, and then it'll be a hate crime if anyone does something to you.
For real? Oh, damn, that's what I should have done. No, I'm just kidding.
You're stupid. Well, so that happens back in 2017, right? So then, that's October 29th, 2017, to be exact. So then October 30th, 2017, that was when Kevin Spacey made his little speech, which was, just the following day. I have an exact quote of what he said if you guys want to hear it. He said, "Honestly, I do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, and I am sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years."
That's literally if Miles accused me of, like, when we used to hang out together, that I grabbed his titty.
Yeah.
And then now that he's with you, he's like, you know what Jesus did to me when we were 18? No, just kidding.
Right? Well, I don't like it. I understand that it's hard to come out and talk about this stuff when it happens to you, but why wait 30 years is always my question.
Yeah.
Well, so as soon as he does this, Kevin Spacey's like, all right, I do feel real bad, but I'm gay, so sorry. Well,
like,
and so then...
I'm gay.
So then, October 31st, 2017, the International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences actually revoked his Emmy honor because they were like, okay, you're accused of being a pedophile, so we ain't doing this no more, right? So then, that same day,
dude, they were over his shit at that point. They're like, dude, everyone's accusing you.
Yeah, everyone's accusing you of shit, dude. And this is only 2 days in to the accusations. So then, the same day, London's Old Vic Theatre, they said that they didn't have any complaints about Kevin Spacey during his time there as, like, the artistic director. I almost said autistic. Artistic director.
From the place at London, right?
Yeah. So that was in the UK. And he was there from 2003 to 2015. They said, look, he has had no complaints. None of them were ever filed. So, sorry, he didn't do anything bad here. Then, November 2nd comes around, and that's when Kevin Spacey said, oh, he's going to go get treatment and all this stuff. November 3rd comes around, Netflix, bye-bye Kevin Spacey, dude. Netflix does not fuck around when it comes to allegations like this. They will kick the most famous person off. They don't give two fucks. They don't put up with it. They did the same thing to Danny Masterson, remember?
Yeah.
They were like, we know you bring in all this money for us with the ranch, but you're gone. Fuck House of Cards. We don't need you anymore. Get out of here if you're going to be all rapey, dude.
Did you see House of Cards?
I didn't ever watch it.
Never watch it? Damn, my mom's the only one I've heard that's seen it.
Miles has seen it.
Tell him, did they kill off his character?
Did they kill off his character? Or did they just cancel the show? Oh, okay. He said he didn't watch that far, but he knows that his wife took over as the president.
Oh, and you know, dude, I just remembered now that you said that. Yeah, but that's when I started realizing what my mom was watching, because it was already like over that, like where he wasn't even in it anymore.
Yeah, he wasn't even in it.
Okay, yeah.
So then, there's a lot of stuff. So then November 8th, this girl named Heather accuses Kevin Spacey of groping her son in 2016, which was just like the year before in Nantucket. Well, she said that he sexually assaulted her son. It happened late night inside the club, car, restaurant, and bar on Nantucket Island. The victim, my son, was a starstruck, straight 18-year-old young man who had no idea that the famous actor was an alleged sexual predator, or what he was about to become, like that he was about to become his next victim. That's what she said. Sorry. She also said Kevin Spacey bought him drink after drink after drink, and when my son was drunk, he made his move and sexually assaulted him, stuck his hand inside her son's pants, and grabbed his wiener, dude.
He's a dick grabber.
Yeah. And that kid was 18. I mean, he was not a child. He wasn't underage, but I mean, he's still this isn't about age. I don't know why I said it. Yeah, it was against his will. That's not okay. What is that even considered? Because it would be sexual harassment if he said something. What's the difference between sexual assault? No, sorry. Sexual assault. Do you actually have to like grab someone?
Yeah, I feel
like if I smacked your butt through your pants, is that sexual assault?
Yes.
Okay.
That's sexual assault.
I didn't know if it's sexual assault for doing that or if that's like
Jesus,
harassment.
why didn't you tell me anything? No,
Yeah. So I guess I just don't know all the differences because there's so many things that people get accused of, and I'm like, where's the line of when it changes in court?
Dude, honestly, I don't think the only time I've ever worked with women is literally at AutoZone, and you know, with my sister and my parents now.
Yeah.
And in AutoZone, I feel like the women were just like, they're just beasts. They're just dominant in their area. So I don't want to go. I don't want to go fuck with them. I only ask them like if they ever came to me, hey, can you bring this boxes over here? I'll be like, okay, yeah, right away. You know, that's literally the only time I associated with them.
Yeah, because it's scary. Well, then hear this. November 9th comes around. So this is what I've noticed in a lot of these cases, like these sexual assault cases, is that once one victim comes forward, like all of them start coming forward. And it's especially like that. I mean, I don't follow non-famous people who go through this kind of stuff because you don't see it unless it's public. But there's like lots of famous people who are coming out and saying, oh yeah, he groped me. And everyone's using the same form of words. So I always wonder, like, did they all get together ahead of time and plan what they were going to say? I mean, I think they're all telling the truth. I'm just wondering why their statements are all the same. Did they have to get together beforehand? Like, how does this all happen, right?
You know, during the it's really similar to the Danny Masterson one. You know,
Yeah.
they all was it like 4 or 5 of them got together and they all had the same
story, the same wording.
story. But these people, you know, they do have the same story, but it's not at the same place.
Yeah, it's not at the same place or time.
And it's different, like how he does it. Like the some people he just plain out does it. Some people he drugs them. Some people he got this guy drunk. You know.
Yeah.
It's the same story, but a different circumstances. So it makes you think, well, maybe it is.
I believe that this is. I 100% believe this Kevin Spacey case is a lot more. It's a lot more detailed, and there's a lot people who are well-known people who might ruin their career if they came out and said this and they did it. So it's different. Then this is all happening. So I'm going to do the timeline and then I'll go over more victims also from that other thing I was talking about. But then November 9th comes around. Tony Montana accuses him of groping him back in 2003. So people are coming out a long time after, right? He said, and I'm going to quote this directly from what he said, I smiled, he leaned in, his right arm was around my shoulder, and he put his hand under the bar, and that's when he grabbed me very hard. I have never been groped before, and he looked at me and said in a very sobering voice, and this sardonic look in his face, I don't know what that means, but he says, this designates ownership. And then he just grabbed his wiener, dude. Like, can you just imagine that happening? That's insane to me.
I feel like, it is a form of dominance, like power. It's a power thing.
It is, definitely, especially for a person like him. Like anything you see him in, he's very much so even plays that character,
And okay, dude, so I heard something like, just like he's basically playing the same character from the House of Cards in real life, right? And that's what they're saying. But then my sister said, yeah, that's pretty much a lot of people, like a lot of stars are. But then she said, but how, look at it this way. She's like, maybe he's just acting like himself, and they just, they model around him.
Yeah.
And that's why he does it so good. And I'm like, oh wow, yeah.
Well, you do see that. That makes sense because I mean, it's the same thing with like Vin Diesel and The Rock, right? They play the same character in every movie that they're in because they base it around them. Like that's just who they are. That's who they're good at playing. You don't ever see them playing any other type of thing besides like the badass strong hero or criminal or whatever doing bad things.
It's true, dude. Look at the Chronicles of Riddick and Triple X. They're basically it's the same character.
Even the pacifier.
Oh, the pacifier, yeah.
Remember? Like it's the same always. So that's the same thing for Kevin Spacey, maybe because he always plays that. So then, wait till you hear this. November 16th, 2017 comes around. Just a couple days later, the London Theatre, who had said, oh, we didn't have any complaints. Well, they start digging deeper. They find 20 allegations of inappropriate behavior against him. 20.
I have someone that spoke out against him. And
okay.
Basically his name is Roberto Cavazos.
Okay.
He said he had a couple unpleasant encounters with Spacey. Basically, routinely, Spacey would prey on him anytime he'd be there at the theater. Just groping him, just doing shit to him. And then he also tweeted. He said that he wrote this on his Facebook, and then he also tweeted that the only requirement for Kevin Spacey to touch you was basically you had to be under 30. At that theater.
Dang. I have him. He's on that list. He was actually number 2 on that list too. And when like what you're talking about, he posted on in Spanish on Facebook and said that Spacey fondled or at least tried to fondle him against his will while he was, going to that theater in London. And it says, those of us who were around him at the Old Vic know that a lot more people will come forward with their stories in the coming days and weeks.
They're hoping.
Yeah, and that's when like 20 other people were like, okay, let's all come forward then. No, that's it. That happened between, it said it includes 20 incidents which were reported between 1995 and 2013. The majority, all but 2, happened before 2009 is what it says. So the majority of those complaints were all before 2009. So then he just stops groping people for a couple of years and then has a slip up.
So they forget about it, and then
or he finds other people to grope.
Yeah, or he does it on a different end.
I guess
He was everywhere.
Yeah. This is crazy. So then the 26th of November, this is when House of Cards decided to extend all their investigations into him and pause House of Cards for a little bit because they're like, what do we do? And then just a couple days after that, House of Cards is like, you know what, fuck Kevin Spacey, let's just do this without him. We don't need him anymore. He's out. And so then they just changed the show. Then February 27th of 2018, the Kevin Spacey Foundation announced that it was closing. And they just closed, I guess. So it was simple. They just announced, okay, bye.
Right away, they were like, hey, cut all the funding to the charities.
Yeah.
We need that money now because this guy's probably going to go to jail. No,
That's exactly what they did. They were like, okay, we need all the money for ourselves because we're going to be fighting a huge case now because several people have come forward. So then a third person named Daniel Beal, he came forward and he said when he was 19 and working as a bartender in a hotel, Kevin Spacey exposed himself to him outside the hotel while he was on a cigarette break, saying that he gave him, so then when the guy freaked out, he said Kevin Spacey tried to give him an expensive watch to I'll give you this if you don't tell anyone type of thing. Keep him quiet.
What a bitch. What a bitch. We all know he took that watch. It's like that meme.
I know, did he though?
It's like that meme, dude, where he's like, babe. He's like the man over there saying he's giving you iPhones for a blowjob or something.
Oh yeah,
and
then he's going over there with his iPhone.
And he has an iPhone in his hand. And he's like, really? And then he runs over there and he comes back. He has an iPhone too.
That's exactly what I mean. I would have taken the watch.
Same, dude.
Would you have? Imagine he flashes his weenie and then he's like,
it depends what he
Rolex.
did, bro. What if this guy, some people casually just walk out naked, bam, bam, right? But what if this guy intentionally just flashed me?
Well, that's what.
Hey, look at
that's
this.
what he had to have done. He exposed himself, so I'm assuming that means his wiener, right? He just whipped out his penis.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Exposure is different than.
Well, it said he exposed himself to him outside, so I'm assuming that means naked.
Damn, he just dropped his pants. He was like, "Look at this."
Maybe what did he expect? The bartender to be like, "God damn,"
God damn.
and just start touching him. I don't know. That's so creepy. So, anyways, he buys the silence of the watch, and then he ends up coming forward, right? Because he said that this happened in 2010. Yeah, he's like, "Thanks for the Rolex. I'm fucking telling." But he waited.
I sold it
to
for
tell
200,000
for years. Dude, right? He's rich now because of that. And then this other guy named Justin, he goes and tells BuzzFeed that when he was 16 and he was a theater usher in New Haven, it was in 1988 when Spacey, then appearing in a play there, invited him and a male friend back to his apartment to watch a movie. Instead, Spacey gave them cocktails and played porn on the TV.
Damn.
Justin said it was really awkward but not intimidating, and they left without any incident. But still, he knew that I was in high school, and it was pretty clear. It's not like I was pretending to be an older, cooler person. So he knew that these kids were in high school, and then he brought them over, made them alcohol drinks, and then was like, now watch these people do it.
Just trying to get them horned up, bro.
That is so creepy, dude. That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
And damn, intentionally these people knew, and they had to keep on working there.
Yeah. Imagine, like, if that kid would have told his parents or something.
Bro, what if
Which
they
he should have, but...
Yeah, he should have. But, there's always, I feel like with parents, there's always like a 50-50 chance that they'll believe you. And then there's that 50% chance that they won't believe you. And they say that you're making it up, and they'll believe the adult over you. They'll start victim blaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what'll happen.
Like, what were you doing? It's like, dude, what were those children wearing at the time? No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up, dude. What were they wearing, dude? Did they ask for it? Okay, then there's this guy named Mark. He was 35-year-old military advisor working on the set of this movie called Outbreak, which Kevin Spacey played in, right? He said that he instructed one of the young male crew members to solicit him for sex with Spacey. The guy, Mark, turned him down, like being like, that's fucking gross. He said he was in disgust because he was then in the closet himself and feared the repercussions of it for his career, right? Because this guy hadn't told anything and he was in the military. So, yeah, Kevin Spacey tried to talk his crew members into like getting this dude to do it with him.
Damn, he's like, hey, you see that guy over there? Wouldn't it be funny if he sucked my dick? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Like,
hey, go tell him.
Yeah.
Hey, tell him it was a joke. See if he laughs. If he laughs, bring him over. No,
yeah, if he laughs, bring him over. Come on.
If he doesn't, hey, tell him I don't know him. No, I just
tell him I don't know. Yeah, so then the sixth person on the list is Harry Dreyfus. I'm not sure how to say the last name. He said the same thing. He said Kevin Spacey groped him on his genitals when he was 18 years old with his father in the room.
Dude, this guy feared no one. He was hungry. He'd go. He wanted to eat.
They said he said they were alone in in Kevin Spacey's apartment because they were like rehearsing for their play, and boom, roped him.
Damn, in his apartment.
He said that his dad didn't see and he didn't tell him. Yeah, he said his dad didn't see and he didn't tell him until many years later. But he told jokes about it at parties. Although now he realizes that that's like not funny. He said Kevin Spacey is a sexual predator, but I still never thought talking about it seriously was ever an option. Which I feel like a lot of men would relate to that because that's not something that like most men would want to talk about.
And I feel like that's the reason Kevin Spacey's like not in as much trouble as he should be.
Yeah.
For a lot of guys, if this shit happens to you, you're never gonna admit it, right? You're never gonna admit to anybody. It's more of a pride thing than anything. It's your ego.
Yeah.
These people do admit it. This guy would be in jail.
Yeah. Well, would you go to jail for grabbing someone like that? Like, I really don't know what the laws are. To be honest, if enough people come forward, you would think that you can. But
dude, one of the YouTubers I watch, Mr. Gigi.
Yeah.
He has a couple episodes like weird, basically weird arrests, like things people got arrested for, and one of them was this guy that kept getting arrested for. Okay, there's actually there's three of them that I just came to mind. But one of them was this guy kept on going to a shoe store and asking, and basically he would put himself like if he was at the shoe department, and he'd ask girls to like basically try on a shoe for them, and be like, oh, it's for my girlfriend. She looks like she has the same size as you, and then try them on, right? And then as he'd go to ask them to try them on, he'd smell their feet.
Oh, dude, that's disgusting.
So he kept on, because it, like you said, it's a weird law, like the groping thing, it's a weird law. So he kept on getting like let out because they didn't know what to like hit him with.
Like, what are they gonna do? Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do? And I think they got him like 13 times, something ridiculous like that. And another one was exactly what Kevin did once. Like this guy kept on exposing himself to people, and they just kept on arresting him. But same thing, they're like, what do we charge him with? Like indecent exposure. Like all these laws are just gonna release him, and then that's what kept on happening. They would rack him up with charges, but since none of them were jail offenses, he would just get let out.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. Well. Number 7 was the Tony guy we already talked about. Number 8, this one's different. So This one's Chris Nixon. He was a 20-year-old bartender in Belfast. He was working at the bar that Kevin Spacey used to go to all the time, like way back in 2007. He said that they were all invited to like a party at Kevin Spacey's apartment. He was sitting on the sofa right beside Kevin, and he sat next to him and grabbed his crotch, dude. Same thing. He just like was grabbing dick all the time. He said he was drunk, but he wasn't like paralytic drunk. He said, I walked over to my girlfriend. I said, we need to get out of here. And I just brushed it off, some drunk guy, whatever. And I just never reported the incident. It was my word against his. So who are they going to believe is how he felt.
I think we've all had a similar incident. If you've ever been to like a festival.
Yeah.
Where those girls are like on one and then all of a sudden they're just like groping you for not like all on you for no reason. And then, they're either their friend or boyfriend comes eventually pulls them off of you. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. But, it's like, damn, dude, did I just get molested? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Right? Well, that's like.
Yeah, that's one of the things I told you, Miranda, that happened to me at Crush. I told you this girl kept on feeling me and then her boyfriend came in and like took her and I was like, thank God, bro. I was like, what do you do with those people, man? Just push them off?
Yeah, push them off. Like it's very weird. So then the rest of the accusers are anonymous, okay? So another anonymous bartender, he said he went over to Spacey's house and he passed out there. He said he went into his house to because he was seeking advice for his career, right? He was probably, I don't know what he wanted to do. And I don't know why Kevin Spacey was friends with all these like random bartenders and stuff, but because he wanted to insult them, I guess. So he went up there and I guess it just says that Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted him. So I don't know what that necessarily means.
So does that mean he pull out the tactics? Did he like grope him?
I don't know if he groped him. I don't know if he had sex with him. I don't know. But it said he had passed out at Spacey's house and then he was sexually assaulted. He said he left after Kevin Spacey warned him to keep quiet about it. So he did tell him like, you don't tell anyone about this, young man.
Keep it on the shh, or I'll kill you. No,
So then another anonymous one. This is a New York artist. It's a former child actor. So that's important. Says he began a sexual relationship with Kevin Spacey in 1983 when he was only 14 and Kevin Spacey was 24. It ended when he turned 15 after Spacey allegedly attempted to rape him. He says that he believes fully that Kevin Spacey is a pedophile. Which, obviously, he was dating a child.
Okay, so see, look, that other guy, the Anthony Rapp, same thing he said when he was 14. And then this guy, same thing when he was 14. So basically, they're like, say you're gay to cover up that you're a pedophile.
Yeah, that's literally what they did. They're like, we got to do something. So then, this is another anonymous person. This is a production assistant who was a production assistant on a House of Cards set. He said that Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted him, putting his hands down his pants while Spacey was driving them to the Baltimore area set during one of the show's earlier seasons. The assistant said the touching was non-consensual. So he just reached in his pants, dude.
Damn, bro. He was like, let me go and cup a feel real quick.
Yeah,
and then he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm driving. What are you doing?
Yeah, so he just reached it over and boom. So then another anonymous one, this is number 12, it's a British journalist. They said that they're interviewing Kevin Spacey for a magazine in London. This was in the early 2000s. They went to the club with Kevin Spacey and some of his friends. He said Spacey repeatedly grabbed his genitals and angrily tried to block him from running away. He said he couldn't write about the encounter because it meant outing then closeted Kevin Spacey as being gay. And if he were to publish a story about Kevin Spacey sexually harassing him on the job, there's no way without making it quite clear that he likes guys, and he didn't want to be the one to say that he was gay. So he literally got assaulted, and then he still cared for Kevin Spacey's privacy. That's wild.
I don't know, dude. I feel like that power goes to your head, right? But even on your end, you're like, damn, I need to keep this job that bad.
Well, then we have another anonymous person. So he actually went by John. and that's just a made-up name that he wanted to testify with. And he said that Kevin Spacey actually like tried to seduce him in New York at his apartment, and he said he was only 17 years old when this happened. He said that Kevin Spacey asked him to share a bed, but he didn't want to, so he decided to sleep on the sofa. But when he woke up, guess what? Kevin Spacey was all wrapped around him, dude.
He's like, as soon as he wakes up, he's gonna fall in love with me.
Yeah, and he said that he doesn't believe that anything sexual took place, but he was passed out, right? And he said, I was uncomfortable at best, but traumatized at worst. So that's creepy, dude. That's a kid. And then we have the girl that I was talking about that said from Nantucket, which I already told you about. And then we have one last one. This is number 15. Andy Holt. I don't know how to say the last name. Holtman's something. He said in 1981, this kid, he was working at the Public Theater in New York when Kevin Spacey, who was 22 at the time, had an up-and-coming actor with a minor role, right? He was just doing like a theater thing. This is when Kevin Spacey wasn't like super famous yet. He said what he terms as a wordless assault. Within minutes, he was all up on me and all over me. The aggression was certainly more than a grope. When I was finally able to push him off and scream at him, he theatrically stepped back, incredibly angry, grabbed his coat and bag, and stormed out and slammed the door.
He was like, it's your fault for being so voluptuous.
He said when this happened, this guy was 27.
Damn, bro. Was it Jesus? I'm just kidding.
He said he was gay and comfortable with his sexuality, but said he wasn't interested in Kevin Spacey, who was then still in the closet. He couldn't fathom why the actor would do such a thing to him and then react the way he did. It was the look on his face that was really shocking and scary. The anger was undeserved. If you ask for something and get a no, then I can understand the anger, but you ask for nothing and then keep trying to take everything. Where's your anger coming from? That's the quote that he gave. So those were the names and incidents that were like the 15 accusations that he was going to court for. We have a huge trial that comes up after this, right? So all these people come forward, and the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office announced the investigation into Kevin Spacey is up for further review. That was in April of 2018. Then August 2018, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office announces a second investigation against Kevin Spacey. So at that time, they didn't really release any other details. They were just like, we're going after him. So then September 4th, 2018, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office said that Kevin Spacey won't face any charges regarding his 1992 allegation, which was the first one we talked about. The allegation is outside the statute of limitations. Therefore, an analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of the evidence is not warranted, and prosecution is declined. So they couldn't go after him because it had been too many years, just like we kind of said at the beginning. There's that.
And so basically, the statute of limitations, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying if I abuse someone now, right, and I wait 30, 40 years, and they come out and saying that I abused them, is that too late?
Yeah.
What if, these people, what if they were just traumatized and it took them that long?
Yeah, I
Get
don't know.
over it.
September 5th comes around, and that's when House of Cards decided, to show a little trailer of them killing Kevin Spacey off, right? So they did kill him off, it says. Then, September 27th, this is when Kevin Spacey gets sued by the alleged sexual assault from the 2016. The incident allegedly escalated when Spacey exposed himself to a masseuse and attempted to kiss him. The man claims that Spacey also grabbed his genitals over his clothing and offered to perform oral sex on him. That's John. So this is the one who went by John Doe.
Damn.
That's wild, dude. Then, Christmas Eve 2018, Kevin Spacey is charged with indecent assault from that Nantucket incident with the 18-year-old boy. So he was charged with felony sexual assault for that.
So it's like 2 out of the 15.
Oh my God. So he gets charged with it. And then January 7th, 2019, he pleads not guilty to that same thing.
How does someone like that get away with that?
I don't know. It literally, the case goes on and on and on. So here's an interesting part, right? Out of the people that like came forward, because a lot of these, I think the trial, I think there was 9 people, I believe, that he actually like sued and went to court. Out of the people who were still testifying against him, 3 of those people are already dead, Jesus. And they died like during the trial and stuff.
Accidentally?
Thus, huh?
They murder-suicide? Nice.
Well, one of them apparently died from a suicide. Keep this in mind. He died from a suicide like the day after Kevin Spacey posted this weird-ass video on the internet saying that like, oh, you know, kill him with kindness, all this stuff. Like, you don't have to go after people. It was very weird. This is interesting, right? So another woman had actually come forward and accused him of harassing young men, like before this Anthony guy even came out. This Linda, her name was Linda, was deemed to be Kevin Spacey's stalker and was even sentenced to prison for like sending death threats to him. And she sent 2 bomb threats to his place of work, right? But guess what happened?
What happened?
She was mysteriously hit by a car and killed.
Oh, accidentally?
Yep. And that was in March. I don't know of what year. And then in September of the same year, another accuser died. The masseuse, John Doe, he died. They said it was from cancer. But I mean, it's still weird that he's dying in the middle of the case, right? And then another accuser died Christmas Day, 2019. And that one was the apparent suicide. That's us, right?
Of course. It always happens when they know information about someone like that.
Yep. Then picture this, dude. Guess who Kevin Spacey is best friends with?
Who, dude? Who?
Bill Clinton.
Of course.
I know we're always coming up with these conspiracies, bro, but it goes together. There's no denying it.
Even in the Gustav episode, bro.
Right.
We somehow tied it back to the Clinton.
But I mean, it would make sense, right? Was Kevin Spacey on the list for Epstein Island?
Oh, dude, should we
Was
make
he
a
one
bet
of
on that? Have you seen?
Let's look
Have
that
you
up.
seen those posts, dude? They're making a bet to see which politicians are on the Epstein Island list. That's gonna come out in January.
Oh yeah, because it's about to come out next month in just a few days. We have to release it. 200 more names, right? Isn't it 200 names of people are being released in January that they found?
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people are saying like, you know, I think the first 2 people or one person that I saw that said if that list comes out, I'm leaving the country.
He is. It's Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., U.S. Senator John Glenn, someone I can't pronounce, but those are some of the names who have been released already. So he did go there. So he is a pedophile.
Chill.
No, it all is coming together now.
It is, I mean, literally, it is, right?
I think we just cracked a case, dude.
Damn.
Flash forward, right, to this year, 2023, July 26th. I'm going to read this directly from the article. Kevin Spacey was acquitted of all 9 charges against him, including 7 counts of sexual assault, 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent, and 1 count of causing a person to engage in penetrative sexual activity without consent. All clear. How's that make sense? Just ask Bill Clinton and take care of it.
How much? Okay, bro. So for sure, they paid him out, right? That's the only reason they paid him all out. They told him, "Hey, here's some hush money. Hush.
Here's a Rolex.
Here's a Rolex.
Quiet down.
Quiet down.
Yeehaw, brother.